cold world. Ways of the world, ways of the world, ways of the world, ways with no heart. Looking for cure, all kind of remedies, knowledge of self, and pay attention how you walk is survival of self. And what we're spoken to is just the works and bring forth wealth. So put it short, don't talk shit that you can handle yourself. Cold world, that is ground fair with a lot of cool cats, and you be missing a lot of those who felt short to react. Take heed, absorb instruction like when thirst off strike. No, I lead and not to follow, ways get safer than night. Use my little man, I love you more than I can stand. So even if I'm gone, you never take your dad for grand. Lands, working till it hurt 50 grand. Humble at accurate with flows of an acrobat created for the all to relate. All we in the same chain of this game. Tight link, vision that picture it in frame. Let it rain, let it rain. Here today, be here for tomorrow. Granted like words and scriptures for you to follow, my man. Here today, be here for tomorrow. Granted like words and scriptures for you to follow, my brah. Here today, be here for tomorrow. Granted like words and scriptures for you to follow, my seed. Here today, be here for tomorrow. Here today, be here for tomorrow, tomorrow. Here today, be here for tomorrow. Here today, be here for tomorrow. Ways with no heart. Here today, be here for tomorrow. 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 Tomorrow. Here today, be here for tomorrow. Here today, be here for tomorrow. Ways NSB. Ways of the world. Ways of the world. Ways of the cold. Ways with no heart. Ways of the world filled with sorrow. Ways of the world. Ways with no heart. Ways of the world. Ways of the world.
This is hour number 3 of the Doug Stewart Show. Let's go.
Let it bump, though.
Me and Waterhead here laughing. I'm telling him about my honorable mention for best Kung Fu man of all time. Honorable mention, best Kung Fu man, top 5 Kung Fu man of all time, the great Dolomite, Rudy Ray Moore. Right, honorable mention. Do y'all remember, if you're old enough, you remember the quote-unquote black exploitation, the blaxploitation films back from the early 70s. You know, and I was very young at the time, so I don't remember these movies live. I remember seeing them over like on VHS or whatever. So Rudy Ray Moore, this cat, he's probably one of the first MCs of all time as well. And he had this character called Dolomite. And whenever Dolomite, he was kind of like, let me give you the best description. And I'm talking to the young people here right now. He was kind of like Shaft, but he was kind of like the poor man Shaft. Right. He was kind of like the poor man Shaft. And so a lot of times he'd be fighting the man or whatever, injustice in America for the black man. And whenever he get in a fight, like he did these little bootleg looking little kung fu moves, man. And now that I think about it, you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Now that I think about it, like a lot of those movies, man, where you talk about like Shaft and Goldie from the Mac or Foxy Brown even for the women, man, they used to use little kung fu moves in their repertoire of fighting. And it's obviously because during that time, I always talk about how in the early 70s, man, in the mid-70s, like kung fu movies were big. They had this thing called Kung Fu Theater on Sunday afternoon. Me and my cousin used to watch it every Sunday. And so I guess the blaxploitation films tried to intermingle everything that was hot. And so what was hot? Hot in 1974, 1975 was Kung Fu. And so Dolomite, the great Dolomite, Rudy Ray Moore, used Kung Fu in a lot of his fighting in back in the day. Never thought about that. So honorable mention to the great Rudy Ray Moore, man. Let me jump in the chat room on Spreaker.com from Wody504. We got your boiled peanut. Speaking of Wody504. We're giving out the Buster of the Week in sports, entertainment, and beyond in the next segment of the show. We call it the Boiled Peanuts Award that's coming up. Wody 504 is nominated. He says, Doug, actually, Tiki was born at 11:59 p.m. and his brother was born at 12. You lying! At 12:04 a.m. the next day. The crazy thing is, I just completely made that up. And that is why your ass is nominated for Boiled Peanuts. Now, I guess, now that you say that, I think technically that could happen. Let me do this. Maybe that did happen. Maybe that's why the birthday website I was looking at didn't have the other brother. Maybe one. Okay, so here we go. Rondé Barber was born on April 7th, 1975. And let's see. Let's click on his brother Tiki. Yeah, here go Tiki because they're on the same Wikipedia page. April 7th. Nah, they were born on the same day. I guess technically that could happen, though. Baby born, twin baby born right before midnight. Second baby born after. They could be born on technically 2 different days, but that's not the case. So I used to live in quick little story. I used to live in. Shut up! I've talked about it before. I lived in Roanoke, Virginia for it wasn't even a year. It was probably 8 months or something like that. When my first job out of college, I worked for Foot Action USA. And I got promoted to assistant manager of the store in Roanoke, Virginia. And that's where them Barber boys are from. Excuse me. They're from Roanoke, Virginia. They actually went to, and anybody listening to the show from Roanoke, they can attest to this. So they actually went to, there's 2 major high schools in Roanoke at the time it was. There was Patrick Henry, P.H. Fleming, and then there was Cave Springs High School. So Cave Springs High School, if you understand, if you've been listening to the show today, so Cave Springs High School was the Lord Berkeley of Roanoke, in reference to my story earlier. And that's where the Barber boys went. Is they went to Cave Springs, and the Patrick Henry, the PH High School, was like in the hood. And one of my best friends till this day, one of my frat, attended PH, and he always used to talk smack about the Barber boys because they went to this highfalutin high school, Cave Springs, across town. But yeah, the Barber boys from Roanoke, great athletes though. I mean, you can't take that away from them. From who do we have in the chat room? Sidney Jackson, the same reason they didn't run the ball with the beast mode on the 1-yard line, they stupid. And talking about the Patriots, man, I just can't believe they would do that. I just can't believe they would do that. Trade Richard Sherman to the Patriots. Maybe you can find a reason to trade him to any other team, but not to the Patriots. Why would anybody be trying to help the New England Patriots in this era? From Sandman, like the dumbass Saints did, shaking my head, gave the damn Patriots Brandon Cooks for a 30-second pick. Stupid. Why would you give Brandon Cooks to the New England Patriots? From Mo Cheeks for 3, lizard, toad, centipede, snake, scorpion, 5 deadly venoms. Yes, sir. Kung Fu. Yeah. One of the greatest Kung Fu movies of all times, The 5 Deadly Venoms. That and what's the Shaolin movie? I can't remember the name, but the Shaolin movie series through Kung Fu movies, man. Some of the most legendary. In your part of town, is there a cat at the Black Ball selling Kung Fu movies on DVD? And maybe they don't do it anymore, but over here in Atlanta, at Greenbrier Mall, there was a cat that was making money hand over fist. He had one of them little kiosks in Greenbrier Mall selling every Kung Fu movie in the history of the world. All bootleg, obviously. I mean, I don't think that he produced or directed any damn Kung Fu movies. And, they used to sell a lot of them in the flea markets. Like the flea markets used to have these cats to sell little bootleg Kung Fu movie DVDs. But this cat here was in the mall. He was actually in the mall, a real mall, Greenbrier Mall here in Atlanta. And he was selling them for like $10 a pop all day, every day. One thing about ninjas now, we do love our kung fu movies. From that ninja, he says, don't forget about Billy Blanks. Man, ain't nobody putting no aerobic kung fu instructor on their damn list. I wish I would put old aerobic teaching Billy Blanks on my list of top 5 kung fu men of all time. Are you crazy? From K, who wants some, to Boy 3000. Grandmaster Quan ain't on the list, folk. 10th degree black belt. Man, come on, man. I'm not deep into kung fu like you. I'm a surface kung fu master fan. All right, K3000, give me your list. It sounds like that you're very entrenched into the kung fu culture. Give me your list of top 5 kung fu men of all time, sir. I'll listen to your list. My list is totally surface, okay? It's totally commercial. I can't go deep into kung fu like that, sir. I'm sorry. Let's see. Frame from 334 Bama Boy. Anything Shaw Brothers Kung Fu. All right, sound like you're deep into it as well. From Rough Buff X Squad Doug, can you really call Greenbrier a real mall? Yes. Yeah. What I constitute a real mall is, does it have a major department store? Greenbrier has Macy's. Yes, I would. How dare you, sir? Oh. 9-0 the wino is Wesley Snipes in. Ooh, Wesley Snipes is a student of Kung Fu. He is. One of my favorite movies of all time, man. Or 2 of my favorite movies of all time. Blade 1 and Blade 2. Wesley Snipes is nice with his hands. Let me see, can I replace him with anybody on this? Nah, he's just still honorable mention. But you're right. So now on my honorable mention list for Kung Fu men of all time on TV or movies, I've got the great Rudy Ray Moore. And then I also have Wesley Snipes. Man, I mean, one of my favorite movies of all time. Pleasantly surprised. You know how you watch a movie and you don't expect a lot? Man, go back and watch Blade 1 and Blade 2. I mean, good-ass movies. And I think they may have done more. I think they may have done a 3 and a 4 maybe even. But I stopped watching them. I pretty much was out after the second one. But the second one was good as shit, too. A lot of times movies, the sequel don't do justice to the first one, man. But from what I remember, them Blade movies, man, they were good as hell. Shouts out to Wesley Snipes. Clay Passenger 57 Davis. Billy Blanks is a former Vietnam veteran and Taekwondo master. Okay, maybe I am selling Billy Blanks short. All I remember is him teaching aerobics. My bad. I didn't know that much about the great Billy Blanks. All I know is aerobics. That's all I know. From One Chance, don't come for the legendary Greenbrier, a staple in the black community. Oh, yeah, I love me some Greenbrier Mall. I always tell the story when I first moved to Atlanta, man, and I went to Greenbrier for the first time. It was one of the most shocking things I've ever seen in my life. Like, and right, it's not nothing bootleg about it. I mean, they got some, you know, they don't have stores in it like Gucci and whatnot like you see it at Phipps Plaza in Atlanta. But they got a major department store, and they got a lot of name brand stores. They got Foot Locker and Champs, and, you know, they got stores. It's not a flea market, a bootleg, or some swap meet or nothing like that. That's very disrespectful to say that about Greenbrier Mall. So when I went to Greenbrier for the first time ever, man, I was like, man, I'm in Atlanta. This is what Atlanta's all about. Yeah, this is what Atlanta